Okay, 1, 2, 3. So welcome to soap number 3. And if you've watched soap number 2, you know I had an awful time with the soap reacting. Now this time I've actually got some actual soap fragrance. The stuff I used last time was was intended more for burners and that kind of thing, so that's probably why that reacted so fast. So this time, I've only made half a batch this time, but it's come out really well. It's still a little sloppy, but it is thickening up. So that's using a proper fragrance from eBay company called Fizzy Whiz. So just a quick update on the soap situation. I'm going to keep the other batch, the Franken soap as I called it, but I'll keep that for home use. It's as far as I'm aware, it's a good soap. I won't really know until it's cured, but it still seems like a good soap, so we shall see. So this one I'm just going to put to one side whilst I move on to soap number 3. Okay, so soap number 3 is a shampoo bar. So I've got my oils sorted out here. So in the bowl I've got 140 grams of olive oil, 100 grams of castor oil and 50 grams of avocado oil, which looks an alarming colour. So that's my liquid oils. And for this one I'm not adding a fragrance as such, I'm adding things to add fragrance with. So into my solid oils, and I've got here 130 grams of coconut oil and 50 grams, a bit more than 56 grams of shea butter. And I'm going to put into that about tablespoon or so of dried rosemary. I've also got over here a little bit of grated zest of satsuma. This one's not at its best, so it wasn't very easy to grate. So I've only managed to get maybe half a teaspoon of that, but I've also got some dried citrus peel, which I will also add to the oils. The idea with adding this into the solid oils is that when I heat them and melt them, it should help to release the fragrance, the natural oils in the herbs and the orange. So I'm just going to give that a quick nuke. So in terms of soap success, it's been a bit spotty, shall we say. I'm still very much a learner in this process, so this is only the 5th batch I've made, and one batch I think I called it a fail because I didn't realise that it wasn't a fail. I've got a Franken batch which is for home use only, and hopefully these next 2 should be perfect. Okay, so I've had my lye reacting in the jar, actually sat on the windowsill. So this is 182 grams of water and 63 grams of lye, and it's at 30, you make up your mind, 30 something degrees. It's 37 degrees, although it's not quite sure about that. So I'm going to find a tray for those. So again, I'm not going to cut away at any point, I'm going to keep on this so that you can see the whole process from start to finish. I think I'm only going to get 1 tray's worth, but I've got a second mould as well. So We shall see. So that's pretty much all melted. There's a couple of very stubborn bits of shea butter floating in the bottom there. And you can see, maybe it'll come out on camera, rosemary and peel. If I'd thought ahead, I probably would have done this earlier and then let it sit so it would kind of infuse a bit more. But I'm not in the mood for planning ahead today. I think that looks about clear, so I'm going to add that to the rest of my oils. Make sure to scrape out all of the leftovers. As these are dried, they're going to become kind of exfoliant as well as fragrance. At least that's the plan. It's a very naff spatula. Got no bend in it. Okay, so that's my oils. Give that a quick stir. And that's at 37. So this is at 35. So I'm pretty good to mix, which is surprising. So I'm debating whether or not I need to add some more peel or some more rosemary. I think I can do with adding a little bit more of each. I'm going to add some fresh zest anyway. So this is just a combination of lime, lemon and orange. I went through a phase where anytime anyone used citrus I'd pared off the peel and hung them up to dry. It makes great additions to a lot of things. I normally use it when I'm making hot chocolate. Okay, so oh no, it's sleeping. Right. Okay, lid on. Okay, so that I'm happy with for the minute. That might change, but we'll see. I'm going to stick my blender in. It's still dirty from the previous wash, but it should be fine. And then pour in the soap, the lye. I'll give it a stir with the blender first. It kind of helps to get it started to some degree. So again, this is a cheap blender, so I'm only doing short bursts and then a stir so I can get this all combined and emulsified. I should probably have my gloves on, but never mind. It's coming together quite well actually. About there. Right, I'm going to add in this last little bit of zest. Really not going to make much difference, but I'll add a little bit of freshness in there. That is about right. So, scrape off blender. Mould. I think It might get just the one, I don't know. See how it goes. Difficult to gauge. So little. Everything I'm using is non-reactive, so metal or plastic, and not metal even, sorry. So not wood. So it's a plastic or glass. And as soon as I'm done, they go straight into the dishwasher for a wash. So they are then safe for use for food. So I've read, at least. If I'm wrong, then tell me, because I've been poisoning the family. So these will shrink a little bit as they set. I don't want to really overfill, that one's got overfilled. I don't really overfill the mould. So in my limited experience with soap making, that is 5 batches down, I think this is something I would like to continue to do. I don't think I'm going to do it in any kind of commercial way, but I kind of like the idea of doing a soap of the month kind of thing. Whether or not I'll just do that for gifts for friends and family, or actually make some sort of extra business out of it, I don't know. Haven't quite decided yet. And I'm still debating on whether or not to sign up to Patreon. And the thought is that I might give away soaps or something as gifts to people that sign up on Patreon. So I'm not entirely sure at this point. So that's just a thought that's going through my head at the minute. May or may not happen. By the time these have come around and the videos come out, I may have completely changed my mind. And these might all be complete fails, but we shall see. As a dispatcher is really naff. It doesn't scrape at all well. So this is my soap. Actually soap number 2, but never mind, it'll be soap number 3. And this is a shampoo bar with orange and citrus. So about this time I will be making an announcement in regards to Patreon or soap selling or whatever. So keep your eye out for that. Anyone who regularly makes soaps, please, advice is always welcome. But that is not bad for be less than 20 minutes work, and for only about a £5, I think, or even less than that. So I'm going to cover these and leave these to set with the other one, and I'll come back to you for the unmoulding of both of these. Okay, so I'm on to the demoulding of the last soap I've made, and I've got the Franken soap sitting over there at the minute. I will stick that on the top, I think, when it's all done. But for now I need to make another layer of shelving. So what I'm using at this stage is loom bands, because I found they work a bit better than masking tape, really. So look at how high I need to go. About there. So they're high enough that they're not touching the ones underneath. That level? Yes. So they're high enough they're not touching the ones underneath. So there's air movement all the way around. So just double up a loom band and stick it over the ends. And it's easier to do all of one side first and then turn it around and do the other side. if, or even when, I start to actually make more soaps or make soap on a regular basis, I'm going to have to make myself, buy myself, a curing rack box type thing. My mum is alright with this being in the spare room for now, because it's only going to be in there for a couple of months. But if I start doing it on a more regular basis, she does not want a box full of soap floating about in the spare room. So whatever I make will probably end up being down the shed, which is alright for being cool, because it doesn't get that warm down there unless it gets super warm everywhere. So that's doable, but the shed is full of tools and full of sawdust and stuff. So whatever device I need to make or buy needs to allow air movement, but not sawdust movement. So I think I might have to make something especially with some kind of screen or a cloth cover, so that air will move around, but I won't have any problem with sawdust getting in. I don't particularly want pallet wood and plywood dust on my soaps. In terms of a craft, this is one that I wouldn't say I've come to enjoy it, but it is interesting. It's science, isn't it? So I'm a bit of a science geek as it is, and finding ways of combining things that aren't food, or even things that are food, to try and make something a bit more interesting. I'm not suggesting you eat soap. I've got a number of flavour ideas, or not flavours, but scent ideas running through my head. I've been watching a lot of soap makers' videos. I've been doing that for quite some time, and they are really excessively over-the-top soaps with piped-on decorations and all that kind of stuff, which it looks good, but I'm not entirely sure it's practical. If you have to cut your soap down to use it, that kind of doesn't seem quite right to me. So I might just stick to this hexagon mould and my rectangular moulds, kind of classic shapes, and just do maybe a dozen or so at a time. Maybe less, I don't know. So, yeah, these are my thoughts for soap making for the new year. So by the time you get to watch these videos, I've probably made a decision about this. I don't want to become a soap maker as well. I already do a lot of other stuff, so I don't want to add something else as a regular sold craft, because then it seems like I'm just being flighty. I'm being sincere about my craft, because I'm not sticking with something. And I probably won't ever sell my soaps. I think there'll be household use and gifts and that kind of thing. If I did sell them, it would be probably a special sale, a charity or something. Yeah, I think that might work better actually. I'm bringing myself around to the idea of maybe doing make a bar of soap every month, and then come Christmas, end of the year, auctioning off a couple of sets of 12 for charity. I think that appeals to me at the minute. So here is my shampoo bar. This is set for 24 hours, a bit less than 24 hours. Well, that lovely rosemary smells come through. I don't get much citrus, but I didn't put much citrus in, so that's kind of to be expected. Oh, a little soft still. Okay, I'll leave those because they're a bit too soft to come out at the minute. Actually, I'll leave those for, I don't know, a time. Try them again this evening. See if they're ready. They're still feeling a little soft. So this is just under about 20 hours they've had. So I'll stick them back in the cool place and come back and sort them out. So yeah. I'll come back to you for the final check after they're cured, and to see if I've actually made soap and not made something rather caustic and unpleasant. So yeah, see you in 6 weeks or 3 seconds.